Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
Also joining us is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Hey, did you know you're twice as likely to die in the next decade if you're currently unable to balance on one foot for 10 seconds?
Oh no, I'm dead last week.
You said 10 seconds?
Yes.
All right, now we're all gonna be bouncing on one foot like crazy people after the stream's over.
I know. I might get up during the stream and actually try it myself. The fourth chair tonight is filled by none other than Andre Wilson, aka Jedi Master Binks.
Jedi Master. You may have seen, if you follow the Tower Casuals, as of Corey also hosts that, I always post the really ridiculous questions. That's me.
They are
Hey,
ridiculous.
at least one of our shows is getting really ridiculous questions. Like shit. Like I.
What do you mean? We have four questions tonight, LeRon.
Wait, 4?
Yeah.
I saw 2. We got more?
Yeah.
I got tweeted back, I think 3.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Oh my gosh, it logged me out of Twitter too.
Never gets questions.
Well, LeRon, maybe you should put a tweet out, like, I don't know.
I do.
More than 20 minutes before
the
the show goes live. I'm just kidding. We aren't live tonight because Twitch does not like me, and, well, that's all I have to say about that.
Because Twitch woke up and said, you know what? Let's just ruin Corey's day. And then it just didn't work.
That's the way, that's what it seems like.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. My day's been ruined for the last month. So, I mean, Twitch is just another, I don't know, cherry on
Icing
top.
on the cake?
Icing on the cake. Shit in the pot. I don't know. What do you want to call it?
Escalated really quickly.
Yeah. Icing to shit. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's no gray area there. Just brown.
You're icing or shit.
Oh.
Also, that just reminded me that my daughter, every time she sees the poop emoji, she calls it the ice cream emoji.
Oh,
And
no.
I don't have the heart to tell her that it's not ice cream.
Oh no.
That's awesome.
Oh, so yeah, that's fun. How's everyone doing? Everyone having a good day? Everybody making it through this Wednesday evening?
Man, this is one of the crappiest Wednesdays I've seen, and I'm not sure it's because like it's a Wednesday following a federal holiday or whatnot, but the last 2 days have been knucking futz. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Usually so I find that I either have a great day, on a Wednesday, or something like really shitty happens. And so far, I've only had good things happen today.
That's good. That's good.
I'm home now, so like I can't die, so but I can be scratched off the board. But I mean, like, I can stub my toe, I could drop my phone in the toilet, my son can step on my toe and then throw my phone in the toilet. I don't know, but I can't die, so we're good. So, happy.
Okay.
All
I
right.
mean, my Wednesday was okay, but like I kind of predicted, things would be going downhill, but not for any necessarily bad reasons. It's just me getting old, and I've lately become obsessed with the fact that I feel like I'm an 80-year-old trapped in a 33-year-old body because I texted you, Corey and LeRon. No, was it? Or was it? No, it was in the Twitter chat with everybody. I had a lot of pizza, and like an old person, I almost became completely comatose, and I needed to drink a whole can of Red Bull just to stay awake for this podcast.
I mean,
but
that's fair.
young me,
There's nothing old about like eating some food and then wanting to go to sleep. There's nothing old about
was
that.
like that. I never
I
Maybe
do
was
that
do
at
that.
work every day. I'll go on my lunch, eat my entire container full of food, and then go back to work, and then fight the urge to pass out. It's every day.
Well, this is a new experience for me, and I don't like it.
Try and do it while driving home. That's a game.
That
That's a
sounds
gamble.
not.
That's a game that's fun to play every day. Being like stop and go traffic and not like falling asleep. Oh yeah, I see how far you get. It's great.
So, but speaking of like how our days are, where was I going with this? Who had to work on Monday?
I technically had to work on Monday.
I didn't work on Monday.
I did, but like.
Andre's Canadian, so he doesn't know.
I live in Canada, so.
Oh, okay. Well, see,
I worked.
It's confusing because, like, okay, national holiday now, but like, no mail, but we had trash day, but then there's no school and I had to work.
Wait, trash collected on y'all's day? Because trash didn't collect for us.
Yeah, so I don't know. I got very confused.
I don't know. That my boss gave me the day off, so I said okay. So.
Nice.
You know,
okay.
Like my job, we take the federal holidays off, but it was something wonky about Monday. It was the fact that like a lot of our clients were working and stuff like that. So like it was one of those situations where when the phone rang, I kind of looked at the phone to see who it was, and then I kind of like delegated whether I was going to answer them or not. You know, it sounds horrible, but like certain people, like with my job, like if you buy the service plan for my company, like gives you basically 24/7, like software and tech support for us, and for all of our clientele, like less than 2% have it. So like it's one of those situations. Phone rings, like nope, I'm off. The phone rings, I guess I gotta take that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Voicemail. You're okay. Voicemail.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, like I don't even entertain some of them. Like I want to be like, hey, can you text me? I don't do that.
Man, yeah, I just what did we do on Monday? I think we went to the park and we hung out and I recorded Nintendo Power Block. That's what I did on Monday. So
what was the holiday for you guys?
Juneteenth. It was the day the slaves were once and for all free in the United States.
Oh, okay.
And it's finally gotten to the point where it's actually like a nationally recognized holiday versus a kind of it's their holiday.
Suggested.
Oh, okay, got it.
You know what's crazy? I've been learning that like a lot of Black and Indigenous families weren't even celebrating July the 4th. Up until now. Because I mean, if you look at it, like American independence, that not everybody was independent, when like our independence happened, with our country's independence happened, I never thought of that, I grew up in a military family and stuff like that, so like we always recognize like the 4th of July, but I didn't know there was like, and this is
LeRon's basically saying he is America.
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying though is that like I just, it's one of those other things, it's like sometimes I feel like I'm like the world's worst black man, because it's like I didn't even know like like people, other African Americans, well, Black Americans, African Americans, wherever you want to call yourself, weren't recognizing July the 4th because during that time, like in 1776, Black people were still slaves. Yeah, I never thought about that, and then to be hearing it recently, because now Juneteenth is a thing, and I get it, it's wild. Like I just never thought of that, I mean, does it make me, like less than what I am right now? No, not really.
Yeah.
This is why it's one of those situations where it's like when we tell somebody you can't always like, for example, when people say stuff like, oh well, what constitutes the right time to say the N-word if you're not Black, like you can't ask one Black person and think that's the rule.
No, the rule is you don't say it. That's the rule. Okay, you just don't say it.
I feel like I'm gonna put myself in a bad spot here because like I feel like the N-word, and I'm talking about the short one, not the one with the hard R at the end. I feel like the one that's like in hip hop and all that stuff. I feel like that word has gotten so common it's almost like saying dude or bro.
It's so bad. Like I have some friends that like, because I'm half Black, so I'm just gonna start with that. I have like I'll have some friends that at first they won't say it, and as the friendship grows, like
it's like they get more emboldened.
Yeah, they'll kind of like eye me up, and they're like, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, "Whoa,
They'll test it other ways. They'll test it by like singing songs that actually have the word in
like,
it.
They'll rap, and then they'll say it, and they'll be like, and I'm like, I'm not the black spokesman. You can say it, but like, I'm not gonna be like red card on the field. Like, no.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is just because I'm cool hearing you say it, because I know the context you're using it in, does not mean the next black dude you walk past is gonna be cool with it. So like, don't use me as the don't use me as the definition. Like, use me as like a slight example.
Look, as a pasty white man, my rule is just don't say it ever.
That's fair. And like, I don't know if you guys got it bad, but when like the whole like George Floyd thing happened, yeah. So like when that happened, I had like, it's gonna sound a bit bad, but like I had like white friends like who I haven't spoken to for like 4 or 5 years on Facebook be like, hey man, are we cool? And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean, are we cool?
I had that.
I'm like, what do you mean? Or like, now we're not cool because you just automatically from like 4 years ago didn't say anything, and all of a sudden like now that this is happening, you're like, hey man, just so you know, like, I respect you. I'm like, I don't give a shit if you respect me or not.
Well, you know that
like,
poses.
it was so weird because
White people don't know how to act.
No, and I also had like
We don't.
this. I'll never forget. I had this one friend be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And then I'd be like, "I'm good. What's up?" And he'd be like, "Hey, can you like come defend my girlfriend? She's like, she said something on Facebook, and like people are coming at her." And I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sakes!" I'm like,
Wait. Did he need a black messiah?
So I guess basically his girlfriend said something about like black people, and she was just getting like torched on Facebook, and he's like, "Yo man, can you come save her?" And I'm like, "I'm not the Black Batman, first of all. I'm not gonna come out of the shadows and be like, I'm Batman." So, but I did go see like what was happening, and I was curious. So
was she getting annihilated?
She was, and like the stupid thing was, she had like childhood friends comment on her post.
Oh shit!
So her post was basically like, you can be it was something to do with the fact that the rioting that was happening was stupid and shouldn't have been happening because of one black guy's death. And then she had like random people and childhood friends of hers all of a sudden flip the switch and be like, "You're a racist. You're a piece of shit."
Ooh,
and I was like,
extreme.
And I was like, I'm like, this can't really be happening. So then I finally kind of just like stepped in a bit, and I commented on her post, and I was like, listen, I'm like, I'm not gonna be the spokesman here, but I just have to say, I'm like, if anyone is commenting on here saying that she's a racist and a week ago was her best friend, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how you can all sit here and call her names when a week ago you guys were having margaritas on a porch. I'm like, I don't know what has gotten into the world, but this is stupid. No one said anything. No one said it. After that, it was shut down. And I'm like, wow, I guess I am Batman. Cool. So, and then after that, I remember I was out with an old friend of mine, and we were walking through the mall, and we're like walking through the food court, and we were going like one way, and there was like this group of like black guys coming like into the mall, and like there was nothing going on. They were just coming into the mall as every human does. But he's like, "Hey man, I just like, is it cool if I walk beside you?" I'm like, "Please don't ask me that." I'm like, "Do not ask me if it's cool if I'm seen with you. We're not at that level, nor will we ever be." I'm like, we have been friends for like 10 years, and all of a sudden you think it's weird. I'm like,
it's like where'd the rationality?
Dude,
where'd the rationale come from?
It got so bad, and like, I don't mean to get like heated, but like, it was really stupid. Like, I lost friends because of it, and it was just it was bad.
Yeah, it's more the thing. Like, it's like your lack of common sense is why I can't be cool with you anymore. It's not even the fact that, like you came out and did something that I feel is like is racist or whatnot. It's the fact that you're literally acting like a stupid person right now about something that on the greater whole doesn't affect you. The only time it affects you is when you are the person that actually becomes problematic about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of white people, because I have a bunch of white friends, and stuff like that. I got enough there. I'm just gonna say woke. I got enough woke white friends, but I got some that are pretty much out of touch with reality. And it's like, hey, I was like, okay, so here's I'm gonna pose this to you. If it doesn't seem right, then why would you think it's appropriate to ask that question? Or if it doesn't seem right, why do you think it's appropriate to say what you just said? Or
it's the fact that you have to ask it makes it weird. It's the fact that thought spawned in your head, and you be like, I should probably ask him this. And right there is where it got weird.
Yeah, because it's not like I walked in the room and I saw you in here, and all of a sudden it got weird. No,
of course, like. We went to the mall, as we always do. We're hanging out, as we always do. And the fact that you had the thought is where it got weird. So.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Can I ask
just so everyone's clear, I love white people. I just want to make that clear.
I have absolutely zero problems with white people.
So two things real quick. So number one, like, I think maybe this could be an extension for After Dark later. Like, there's a dark side to kind of all these issues that are coming up, and just people should not be having issues with people regardless of skin color. That's my generalized soapbox thing. Second question is for you, Andre, just because you mentioned. So I'm half Asian, half white. So like, I'm just curious from a biracial person. Have you ever had that experience of being like, oh, you're not black enough, or oh, you're not white enough? And I only ask that because I have experienced that.
But I have that right now as a full-blooded black person. I get that all the time.
I'm half white and half black, so like I even had that. I had that in school with myself like a long time ago. So I have my ear stretched, and for the longest time in school I was stretching it, and then I hit a point where I'm like, black people don't stretch their ear. I'm like, so why should I be stretching my ear? And then I stopped. And then I left school, and I was like, yo, F everyone's opinion. I'm just gonna do me.
Yeah.
So then I did it. But I think the right word to use is probably, I've struggled with it more of myself, thinking like is this more black? Is this more red? Like, for example, like my music taste. Like I like punk rock. I like screamo, anime music. Like my lack of like rap and hip hop interests is like there's that list is like small, but like
you're so white.
The white, I guess, list of songs I listen to is bigger than the black one, and I constantly think, I'm like, if I like, will I be judged for the things I'm into? Like, I'm into anime, I'm into punk rock and screamo. I'm like, can I hang out with like black people? So I myself struggle with that a lot. But I just think at the end of the day, if I tried to pretend to be who I am, it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. It's just nice to kind of hear that. I don't get to speak to a lot of people that have just I joked about myself when I try to lighten the mood with other people. I say like, I'm a mutt, but I'm proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I will always like make that joke, and like I've had it where I'll make it and like people don't know how to react, and I'm like it's not that hard. Like I like white things, I like black things. It's not like, right? I don't know. Okay. People, like LeRon said, people make it weird by just kind of having a thought and being like, oh, I don't know how I should act around him. Be you. If I like you, I'll tell you.
You know, I have one question. I think after this we can kind of like end this talk, and if we want to save it for After Dark. As a biracial person, because I looked when I first saw you like on the last stream you were on, because I wasn't on that show, as many people know. For me, you look passing enough that you're white. Yeah. Now, after you said you're biracial, yeah, I can see kind of the features and stuff. Yeah, I see that. So let me ask you a question. Your friends and stuff growing up and stuff, did they kind of ignore your black side because like you're pretty fair skinned and whatnot?
Yeah, like I'm a good like I guess like mocha color.
You probably brown nice in the sun.
Oh yeah, I get like blacker in the sun. But yeah, I guess in when I was growing up, I kind of do it subconsciously as well. Where like if I hang out with black people, I will act more black.
Oh, you code switch. Oh my
dude, it's so weird. And like I will so say for example, if I hang out with black people, I will act it, and then when I leave said group, I'm like, what is that? It's so weird.
Oh my god,
I do it.
But
Oh my
and
God, you'd be
Andre,
a cool
you're not
person to hang
alone.
out with.
I do that. I act more
You code
Asian in the
switch?
presence of other Asians, but it's subconscious. I don't do it on purpose.
It's so weird sometimes. I'm just like, I'll come home and be like, why did I say that? I'm like, that's not what I say.
Oh god. Corey and I can't relate. We don't code. Well, I code switch. Because I'm bisexual. I code switch that way, but I don't code switch ethnically.
Is that what it's called? Code switching?
Code switching, yeah.
Okay, now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's the term for it. Where basically like you're one way of one set of people and you're one way of another set of people. And we're not talking about like like personalities or whatnot. We're talking about like your actual actions, your mannerisms, stuff, the way you
I full send it either one way or the other. But if I'm alone, it's like I'll juggle both. But like but like if like one of my friends comes to the room, I'm like, hey man, what's going on? And then if I go hang out with black people, I'm like, yo man, what's good?
What's up?
It's so weird how I do it. Why do I do this?
Not to sound like a complete racist, but the only thing that popped into my head this whole conversation, have you seen that Peel gif where he's like shaking the hands of all the white people, and then when he gets to the black guy, he does like this. One of these things.
What are these?
I mean, you can't do it to yourself because your hands don't go that way, right? Like
I know it's the one where he's the president.
Yeah.
Where he's Obama. And and he got to another black person. He just started dapping them and doing all the freaking all
the bottom down here, and then he goes to white person. He's like,
exactly, yeah.
That's the only thing that popped in my head during this whole conversation was that.
That is exactly.
That's actually an example of code switching where you you shake your white friend's hands, and as soon as you get to the black person, it's like you gotta go back from the valley, you got up high, you gotta do the little finger thing.
Yeah. The best code switch I've ever seen is I was very young. I was like maybe like 10 or like 9. I'll never forget this day. It was me and my dad. We're walking down the street, and this black guy was walking towards us, and they stopped and had like a half-hour conversation, and they did like the whole dap. They were like, "Yo, what's up?" And they were talking like they knew each other from like ever. And then we parted ways, and I was like, "Dad, did you know that guy?" And he's like, "No, I've never met that guy." And I was like, "What do you mean you never met that guy?" It was so funny. But they were like, "Hey, what's good, man?" And they were like, "Yeah, catch you later." And then they parted ways, never seen him again. I was like, "What the hell just happened?" So
oh
funny.
my god!
So funny.
Wow.
Hey, Corey, we have some patrons to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Also, LeRon, I got your question, and I agree. We'll talk about it after the show.
All right.
Because I 100% agree with you. So, oh my gosh, it logged me out of Patreon too. Jesus Christ. This whole day, man. Just those.
I tell you what.
I got it.
Okay, I was about to say, you shoot deets, I can get it.
No, so I memorized all the Patreon producers because we haven't had a new one in a couple weeks. So,
okay.
Yeah, you can follow the Boss Rush Network on Patreon at patreon.com/the Boss Rush Network. Where
I have a legit question.
Yeah.
What is Patreon?
Patreon. I'm glad you asked because
That's a wonderful question for the segment.
yeah. So a couple weeks ago,
Because I listened to a few podcasts and they have a Patreon, and I'm like, what is Patreon?
So
yeah, everyone's so vague about it because they think
Yeah.
at this point, like it's almost like OnlyFans, like people should know about it.
yeah. Okay.
Low-key,
So I mean, a couple weeks ago, we addressed what Patreon was on Nintendo Power Block. I guess we never really did it on this show. So yeah, maybe we should just incorporate that into this segment. Patreon is the subscription service where you can support us directly as a network. And you go to the website and there's we offer different tiers, right? Right now we offer the $1 tier, which is early access to, you get if you don't watch the stream, you get 1 week early access to this show, 1 week early access to Nintendo Expansion Pass, 2 weeks early to After Dark and Standard Definition. That's our $1 tier. And then we offer a $5 tier where you become a Patreon producer. And so that means we shout your name out on this podcast in our Patreon producer segment, which is right now. So yeah, you can have
So it's almost like a PayPal for the production.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
And you pay monthly, although I think we are eligible for the annual pass now, because we've been on Patreon for over 6 months. In July, we will be on Patreon for 6 months. So
nice.
We'll be able to offer a 1-year service for those who are willing to do that. But for now, like I said, if you head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Network, you can get all the shows I just listed, early access for $1, or for $5, you become a Patreon producer. And so here we go. We're going to, now that just messed me all up because now I now have to rethink this whole segment because of Patreon. Not everybody knows what Patreon is. Okay. Anyways,
You know what? I have an idea. Just do a pre-recorded segment. We can distribute to all the shows.
I would, but what if we get a new Patreon producer?
No, I'm not so much a Patreon producer. Just talk about just a way to talk.
You know
about
what?
the
I'm
Boss Rush
actually
Patreon.
going to put it on our YouTube channel. I'll just make a video and we'll distribute it. So, anyways, our Patreon producers for this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast are Quentin Jackson, Rebecca Jewell, Adrielle Munger, and my wife, Sana Dirrig.
You guys are the real heroes.
Yeah, I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. And I want to thank all of our free listeners because you listen too, and we appreciate
you guys put money in their pocket, which puts coffee in their system, which puts smiles on their faces.
Actually, all of our money is still sitting in the Patreon account until somebody needs something, and then we funnel it right back into equipment.
Oh, wait a second. Until someone needs something? Oh, let me stop. Corey's like, don't make me come over there.
I'm not trying that.
It's going to go toward a company retreat where we all meet at PAX next year.
Yeah, well, I had I did have a big deposit from the store, which we don't talk about here, which we should. I did have a big deposit from the store the last month because I have it where every quarter it just whatever's in the store
like a
account.
royalty check kind of.
Yeah,
how that
send
works.
it to the company PayPal, which is not really a company PayPal. It's my PayPal, but I should probably put it into a company PayPal.
So it's Corey's wallet. That's where it's all going.
So
typical.
Anyways, new store announcements, everybody. The Pride logo is now available. I know I'm 22 days late, but it's there. And it'll be available forever. We're not taking it down at the end of the June because
I was gonna say it's not late because every day is Pride.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people change their logos and stuff on social media for Pride, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do that because we should just celebrate everybody every day. But then some people appreciate it, so we did both.
It's kind of weird because
you're weird.
How do you draw the line between being allies and supportive to being pandery? You know what I mean?
Yeah. My wife says sometimes.
It's always been a strange thing, in my opinion, how it's just for June and then it's gone. It's just
it's like.
And I'm like, Why, like...
Well, that's why I roll my eyes a lot when I see people go above and beyond in June. I'm like, I don't know.
Like, you can do this all the time.
Yeah.
Ah!
Like, I won't get mad about it, but I'm like, I don't know. I just don't really connect with it. So that's
And
why I'm like, you know what?
Why are all the special months the short months, right? Black History Month is February. Pride Month is June. Come on. Give them a full 31, okay?
Well, isn't
Well,
Asian Island Pacific?
That's right
what
after. That's
lumped
that's
all
right
those
after.
Asians
That's
together.
yeah. That's in March.
Yeah, but they merged it with other groups.
Yeah, because it's also wait. Women's.
We need to save the
Appreciation
other
Month.
9 months for white people.
I don't know. I can't. Keep
And they
got
gotta
to
be the long
I
ones.
feel like in all seriousness, like Hallmark made all this shit up just so like they could get more money and like gift cards, memorabilia, and all that shit.
I agree.
The way that I see it, every fucking day is like an international day. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear.
Today-
I look on my calendar and I'm like, how is it International freaking Green Leaf Day? I'm like, what the shit? Like,
Today was National Onion Ring Day. Every
See?
Wednesday at work, the host of the podcast would bring up what day it is nationally. Today was National Onion Ring Day.
Do you know how much I fucking love onion rings?
Everybody loves onion rings, dude.
I don't like onion rings.
Well, you're fired.
I don't like onion rings. I don't like onion rings. Well, it's weird.
This is awkward.
Who hurt you?
Yeah. Who ruined that for you?
Were you trapped in an onion ring?
I got lost in a bloomin' onion?
Oh my gosh, a blooming onion.
Oh, bloomin' onion's so great! Oh my god.
Pretty much any deep fried vegetable is great. Let's be honest.
Oh god, I love a good vegetable tempura. Oh my god.
Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, store. Yeah.
Yeah. Pride. Rainbows.
Yeah.
Woo!
Also, the Marvel and Review shirt is up still, and I'm just trying to pick things out. The Power Block 300 stuff is up. So that's next week. I got my shirt somewhere. Oh, I put it in the laundry because it needs washed. I was gonna show it off, but I didn't. So yeah, you can get a bunch of stuff there. Just go to bossrush.net, click on the store button, and it'll take you to our store. Buy stickers, buy something. We are exploring other stores, so just letting you know. I know Redbubble isn't the highest of quality, so I've heard good thing about Teespring and TeePublic.
TeePublic is great.
Yeah. TeePublic's good. I've ordered like a shirt or two off TeePublic.
Yeah. So, anyways, our Disney logos are up as well for standard def. So, yeah. Anyways, let's talk about things like games and stuff, since that's what we kind of do here. I started playing an indie game.
Which
is it?
Which is Death's Door.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's very
okay. Good one.
It's like I don't want to say it's a Souls game, but it totally is an isometric Souls game. Giant bosses, you collect souls to upgrade your gear and armor. Like you gotta like memorize the patterns of the bosses. It's totally a Souls game. And I know I've been very vocal about not liking or caring much about Souls games, but there's something about this one that's just like the music is nice and the art is nice and the combat is fun and running around as a little chicken bird is nice.
Crow.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, that's when you know it is a good quality game, where it might be a genre that you typically won't play, but you enjoy. I feel like that's a hallmark sign of a well-made game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the Souls type game that I've really been like, I really want to try it.
Elden Ring?
Sekiro? Like the ninja with a bionic
Sekiro?
arm? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like I always see gameplay and I'm like, I want to, but I know that I would have to get over like the hump of just like the game, because like those type of games are test patience, and I am one to not be like, oh, I'm not gonna do this because I just don't want to get frustrated. But that game, I'm like, it's kind of worth getting frustrated over.
Yeah.
Because it looks good and it has the gameplay of like you can't rush in there and just like nuke everyone. You kind of have to stop and be like, hey, if he rolls left, he goes right, etc., etc.
Yeah. The easiest one to start with is actually Bloodborne, I think. But
Really?
yeah.
That's
Oh,
funny.
hang on. Sorry. Backtrack. I did try Neo. That's what I played. I played Neo.
There's a new Neo-esque game coming out soon. Woe long. So, anyway, just for information
Well,
out there.
I'm glad that you liked Death's Door because we've had this conversation I think on Pal Block, but tomorrow I'm finally expecting my physical edition special reserve from Special Reserve games.
You
Yeah.
special reserved it from Special Reserve.
I ordered it
'Cause it's
January
special.
1st. January 1st. It was supposed to arrive in
Holy woof.
Yeah, and they
Right.
said that there was a delay, and then I finally emailed them, and they said there was an issue with the shipping.
Oh, I bet there was.
And guess what? The day after I got that email, my order status got updated news in the mail.
No.
Where did it get delayed to? Freaking the
Antarctica.
multiverse?
Exactly, got lost in the multiverse. So they
Lost the multiverse.
Oh, no.
Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Are you
I-
almost done?
No. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's I think I'm only in like the first whatever dungeon, I guess is what you would call it. Although I know it's not a very long game, but I'm in the Witch's Urn castle or whatever it is, and it's just like the puzzles are they're simple enough, right? But you mix these puzzles with the combat and it's like, oh man, this easy puzzle all of a sudden becomes extremely difficult. And I don't know, I'm just it's like really relaxing for some reason, even though it's hard and stressful, you know. It's one of those weird games that is oddly relaxing. So, yeah, it's funny because I actually started playing it on Game Pass, and then I remembered I bought it on Switch. I'm like, man, I wish I would have really bought this on Switch because I want to play it when I'm doing other things also. And I have a Backbone controller, but like, I just felt like the cloud is not. I don't know. Action games, I'm really weird with the cloud, unless I'm doing like a strike in Destiny, which nobody cares about. So yeah, I was about 2 hours in on Xbox and I flew through what I already did on Switch, and now I'm ahead. So I'm really liking it though. It's really cool. I mean, I'm also playing Destiny and Assassin's Creed Odyssey still. And I finished Obi-Wan today. So.
Oh, by the way, we can't talk about that episode.
No, we're not.
Seen it yet.
We're not.
Okay.
It's too fresh, I know. But we are going to do a spoiler cast soon. Andre's going to be on that.
I have a PSA for people that watch it on Tuesday and then post shit about it. I hate you because
When you say watch it on
That's-
Tuesday, when you say watch it on Tuesday, you mean like Tuesday night at like dark 30 in the morning when it's technically Wednesday? Are you talking
yeah,
about those people?
and then I wake up, open Instagram, and the first thing I see is like a spoiler, and I'm like, oh my god.
I know.
If you do that, stop.
Yeah.
Because not the rest of the world doesn't stay up till dark 30, watch it, then pass out. Because if I did that, I wouldn't process shit and I wouldn't sleep because I'd be so excited. So stop.
Yeah.
posting. Wait till Thursday, then go nuts. Because everyone has a day, then go nuts. Just don't watch it Tuesday, day of, and post things because it is terrifying. I have barely gone on Instagram all day because I'm scared.
Yeah.
FYI.
All I know is that the whole episode just like it started grabbing all these other places from all over Star Wars, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like everything in one package that I just want. And I know this was a limited series, but I really hope we get a sequel or like a second season or something that continues these characters in some form. And I know like Hayden Christensen's supposed to be in the Ahsoka series and whatever, but like I want like an Obi-Wan 2, right?
Jeez,
And,
like this guy. Wow, this guy just like he was like, I quit acting, and now all of a sudden he's back.
Who? Hayden Christensen?
Yeah.
No, he does a lot of indie. He like Star Wars chased him away from like mainstream acting, and he only does like small indie projects.
Uh-huh. Okay,
But I mean,
okay,
like,
I guess that's
after Star Wars, he was just like no one cared for him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
That's
everybody
true.
realized it was George Lucas's direction and writing, and then here we
Yeah,
are.
And then,
Fun fact: he actually voices Darth Vader in the show. They use an AI modulator.
in what show?
What?
In Obi-Wan.
No, you're fucking
Really?
lying.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones is in the credits for. He's been.
He has James Earl Jones has 3 lines in the entire series. The rest is Hayden Christensen.
Wow.
You're fucking lying.
Nope.
LeRon's like,
Fucking
hold on.
lying.
No, I'm
Like,
not.
No.
I promise you.
No.
And there's a really cool
Stop
scene
fucking with me.
in this episode, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's really cool.
I feel like I exactly know what you're talking about because I saw something that I didn't want to be true, and I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about.
We need to get his mind off it.
Okay.
I know.
So,
I feel
anyways,
like exactly what you're talking about.
my where I was going with this was like I really want a sequel. Disney has not made any plans for a sequel, but every single actor involved in the show says they would, in a heartbeat, sign on for a second season. And Kathleen Kennedy today tweeted out and said, "There's always room for these characters to return. This was announced as a limited series, but if the fans speak up, we listen." I'm like, no, you don't, Kathleen Kennedy, shut up. But
I don't think they expected the show to be as big as it did.
it's the biggest show.
not-
It's the biggest show to ever hit Disney Plus.
Yeah, they did not like. Everyone was jacked when
Yeah.
Ewan's like, "I'm playing Kenobi,"
Yeah.
and then Kathleen's like, "Oh yeah, the fans are excited." I don't think she understands the plethora. The entire world was jacked when he's like, "I'm coming back for Kenobi."
Out of all the Star Wars stuff, like this is the one honestly that I was most excited about when I heard about it. And I'm not sure why, because I mean, like The Mandalorian came out, and I watched it when it came out. I watched it when it premiered and stuff, but I wasn't like super jazzed or excited about it. Of course, Book of Boba Fett happened. All right. Like I am ready for Ahsoka whenever that decides to come out.
I am too.
In all honesty, I feel like the only like real connection to Star Wars, like outside the movies, that I've always had like a thing for was like the just the animated stuff, which I didn't, even though I didn't see the animated show that happened after Rebels, but Rebels was my shit.
Oh, Bad Batch?
No, I saw Bad Batch. No, there was one that was like they were cell shaded.
Oh.
What's that?
It's
Yeah,
some
it was-
weird. Yeah, I know.
It was
I know
where
what
I was
you're talking
following. It was following like A-wing and B-wing pilots.
about. Yeah.
Like I didn't watch any of that, and it
um,
got canceled anyway.
Resistance.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Corey,
Yeah.
this episode, after I watched it, because I told you guys in Discord that I was going to watch it after work, as long as I had time. So I watched it after work, and it was so good that I had to go back and watch Twilight of the Apprentice, the 2-parter from Star Wars Rebels. I had to watch that because I was like, man, it's not enough.
Yeah. No, it's a great way to end this season, and if they don't do a second season, it's a great way to end the series because it was really good. It was, there were some issues I have with the show, right? Like, I mean, I talked about it a little bit, but like especially the last 2 episodes were just fire the whole way through. So, yeah. Anyways, I will stop talking now. Somebody else say what they were doing. Andre,
Anyone
you're the
that
guest.
says that Vader ain't shit, my man
Oh my
brought
gosh.
down a Star Wars ship and tore it to pieces.
Okay. You know what? Okay, here's where I might get into trouble.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh! Look, we should save this for the spoiler cast, guys. This is the
All right, you know what? That's fine.
Fair,
That's
fair,
fine.
fair.
That's
Okay,
fine.
fair.
We can save it for that.
Yeah.
Because like we don't want Star Wars and all this other random shit to just take over the show. When we can dedicate like time for it.
Oh, I'm also caught up on Miss Marvel too, and that is
I have not started Ms. Marvel yet.
that is the total opposite of Star Wars. It's like a sweet, innocent, like just whatever kind of show. Like it is a Disneyfied superhero show through and through, and it's been a nice palate cleanser to Kenobi. I really like the girl they got to play Kamala Khan. She's fun. Anyways, that's it. Andre, what are you doing with your life?
I think. I started a new audiobook, which is cool. It is called Star Wars Ronin, and it follows. If anyone has seen Star Wars Visions, it follows the first episode. So, it follows the Ronin and what happened after the one show. So that's cool. I'm learning a lot about him, which I didn't know. Like, I won't say anything if anyone doesn't want me to. So, other than that, I'm really, really, really deep into Cyberpunk at the moment. So that's been a lot of fun.
Cyberpunk the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know they have an anime coming out, which I'm excited for. I think
For
it's
Cyberpunk?
called... Yeah.
Oh, I'll be all over that shit.
Yeah, what's it called? I'm gonna see if I can quickly pull it up. What else am I doing? It's called Edge Runners. That's what it's called.
Is this following people that are like outside the city?
I think so. I think it's like a prequel to the show or the game. Sorry.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So, game wise, Cyberpunk. Obviously, my main game is Destiny, but I've been burnt out. I feel like speaking of games, I feel like lately, I don't know if this is just me, and you guys can chime in because I would love your thoughts. I feel like lately, the majority of games that are coming out are either first-person shooters or BRs or all three. And I myself am really burnt out from that kind of genre.
What's BR?
Battle Royale.
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fortnite.
Yes.
And I'm not sitting here and like I won't shit on them because I do enjoy them, but I just feel like every year there's like a plethora of FPS games, shooter games, and like BR games, and I am frankly like really burned out for them. Like I'll hop on Destiny, I'll maybe play it for like an hour and then hop off, and I'm like I can't sit here and play this game anymore because it's just like after reset day it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Especially I love Destiny, I really do, and obviously I can sit here and go the pros and cons, but like after reset day it's just like there's nothing to do, and it's not enjoyable. Like I am not even done like the battle pass. Like it's just I am burnt out. Now someone could argue Cyberpunk is an FPS game. Cyberpunk's a shooter game. You're not wrong, but it has a story to it. And that's what's keeping me involved is the story. And there's side quests. There's things I can do. I don't have to do the story. I could go climb a building or this and that. So I am enjoying that. Hearing you guys all talk about Nintendo stuff has really wanted me to jump back into my Switch. I'm just kind of waiting for a game to really capture my essence with my Switch again. That was, I think, the wrong word, but the word that came to my mind was that.
Catch Andre's essence.
Catch my essence, yeah. The
New YouTube short coming to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. The last game I've played for my Switch was Pokemon Arceus. Not gonna lie, wasn't that like jazzed about it. I thought I would be, but then I just found it was the same thing over and over again. And I mean, like I love Pokemon. I mean, like the original 151 is like home to me.
Yep.
But I was just like, I'm like, this is just go to this area, do the same thing. Go to this area, do the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm looking for a game to like really like suck me in and just take me away, and I haven't found that in a while. And I don't know if maybe I'm just not looking in the right spot, but lately I just feel like games are just like I'll come home and not even turn my computer on, or I'll turn it on, watch YouTube stuff, and then turn it back off, and I'm like, I'm not like,
No,
I don't know.
I was like that for a while the last few months, right? Or like I would, I have a standing date with my friends to play Destiny on Saturday nights, right? But like, other than that, like I would play a game that was like super comforting. Like that game for me right now is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where like there's no thinking with that game. I just go to the spot, kill a bunch of guys, talk to the people, whatever, and I'll play that for like a half hour, and then I'll turn it off and start watching something while I, work on something for the channel, or do some work for work, or something to that extent. And Death's Door is really the first game that I've found in almost probably all year, to be honest with you, that I've actually like, okay, I kind of want to go play this game now, and
I feel that.
I mean, we're in a lull, I guess, I mean, Fire Emblem comes out on Friday. I guess I'm excited for that, but I'll buy it because it's Fire Emblem, because I like Fire Emblem, and I will give it a whirl, as they say. But like, I don't see myself finishing that game, so I'm like, why am I buying it? Oh, because I love Fire Emblem and I love those characters specifically, and I do want to give it a shot, and then I'll complain about it later.
That's fair.
I'm terrible when it comes to games like that, where like I'll buy it because I feel obligated to sometimes, and then I just won't play it after an hour.
Speaking of games, actually, I think I could be wrong. I believe it was you and LeRon talking about the Last of Us PS5 remake and how it's stupid. I could be wrong, but like,
I mean, that sounds like something I would totally say on a show somewhere.
Because like you and Josh were talking about it, and how it's like being redone like for like the third time, and like how it only comes out with like a certain package.
Okay, so all right, so
I wrote a boss rush on that.
It's been remastered once, and now it's being remade.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference though? Like,
okay, so remastered just basically think it's upscaling of the graphics and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas the remake, like apparently from what Sony is saying, like the remake, like they're not only are they updating like the look of it, like it's also gameplay is getting adjusted or changed.
So is this the remake or the remaster?
No, this is the remake.
Think what Resident Evil 2 did for the original Resident Evil game. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a remaster would be like just like up-resing it and make it run at 60 frames instead of 30, and that's kind of, your hands are done with it.
Got it. Okay. So they're completely like 360 the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Right.
Yeah, there's even supposed to be content that's like restored. That's what the rumor is on that. There hasn't been an actual confirmation about that just yet. But usually whenever remakes happen, that's usually one of the things that kind of happens. Like they add content.
Listen, I get it. Like I'm all for it. Once if the Firefly edition comes out, I will buy it. It's just that I don't know. Maybe we could have done without the remaster then, or at least why do we have to pay?
They remastered it. You know what? It's less. I feel like. Okay, so the remaster happened because like the Last.
I feel like
of Us,
I opened a can of worms right now.
The Last of Us literally came out like at the end of PS3's like mainstream life cycle.
Yeah.
So the PS4 came out, and so it was one of those ways of getting people to play the game if they had not played it on PS3, because most people had already gotten rid of the PS3 because it's not backwards compatible, of course. So like that. So that was one of the major reasons. And plus, like, it came out at a sweet fucking price. Like anyone who did not buy the Last of Us remaster at $20. What is wrong with you guys? Because I bought the brand new game on PS3 for $60, and the only reason why I even have the remaster is because like it came free for PlayStation Plus collection.
It was basically free.
Yeah, Yeah.
Basically free.
Like for the people who had a PS4 for the entire lifespan of PS4 and stuff, and they did not get The Last of Us for $20, something's wrong with you, and stuff like that. So but anyway, so The Last of Us Part 2 comes out, and like there's all these changes in how like the game is and all that stuff. So basically, and we already heard the rumors that there was possibly a remaster of The Last of Us 1 coming in there, but apparently I guess the grand plan was to make the games play similarly to like the latest innovation in the game, and honestly that's what Resident Evil did, like the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes did, stuff like that. So I think Sony just wanted to jump on something while it was still hot, which is not a bad thing to do, but I do understand where everybody was coming from, saying the game has only been out for 10 years. Even though technically, actually no, it'd be was it 11 years since Last of Us came out? I got to check. But actually, like I was watching something. Oh, Push Square did a thing about how they felt about The Last of Us, the remake coming out. And they said like, yeah, it seems like it's kind of egregious that they're bringing this out when it seems like the game is still fresh in everybody's brains. Okay, so the game came out in 2013.
So 10
yeah, like 9 years. 9 years. And actually they said
sorry.
Yeah, and actually they said that that's not the shortest amount of time that an actual remake has actually happened, because I think they said Demon's Souls is actually shorter. Demon's Souls, the original Demon's Souls for PS3.
I mean, I think it's shorter because people got better at Souls games and then they just beat it faster.
And they just rip through the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so what were we talking about besides Demon's Souls? Sorry, I was trying to fix another issue.
Last of Us.
Yeah. I won't be buying it, so
I will.
I mean, sorry. I played the first one twice, and then I played the PS4 one twice. I mean, like, I'm okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
I will be getting it.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about it.
Be?
Me?
No, LeRon, you won't be getting it?
No, I will be getting it. I will be getting a remaster.
Okay.
And the reason why, and you see, I can justify that because
it's coming to PC.
I've only played The Last of Us once, and I played it when it was brand new, and I beat it, within the actual, like, the reasonable time, like, after it launched, like, I actually got it day one, and I beat it within, like, a week or two of having it and stuff like that. And the only time I ever came back to Last of Us is when they actually put the Left Behind DLC out, and that came out, like 6 or 7 months later. That's the only time I got back into Last of Us. I only played it that portion. I only played the DLC. So like, at this point, like, I'm ready to get back into it, and I think with a remaster, I think that's the perfect time for me to get back into it.
You mean a remake?
Yeah, remake. I'm sorry, remake, not remaster. See,
have you played part 2?
I have not. But now I think I'm just gonna wait for both versions to drop on PS5. Well, actually, Last of Us Part 1, like if this is coming out on PC, like, I'm thinking they're about to drop Last of Us Part 2 on PC as well.
Yeah, well, The Last of Us Part 2 it'll be a Uncharted Legacy of Thieves sort of thing, where, like, it'll drop on PS5 like maybe 6 months. I bet. So Last of Us Part 1's coming out this fall, right?
August.
I bet Last of Us Part 2...
No, I'm sorry, September.
I bet Last of Us Part 2 comes out when the show comes out.
So, Andre, what do you think of Part 2? Like, just...
I loved it.
You're going to say something, yeah.
I loved it. I mean, like, I know when it came out, there was a huge tidal wave of people like, well, this game's shit. This game sucks. And I was just like, I didn't get it. So, I actually...
Those people actually hurt me from playing the game. I got the game, but I never played it. Those people hurt me from doing it.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I got it because I was like, I loved Part 1. Part 1 was like, it was one of the more emotional games that I've like ever played, especially the beginning. And like now that I have children, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is like really hard. playing 2 was it wasn't it was emotional, but there was a corresponding podcast where someone basically like interviewed Neil and like the entire cast of the podcast, and I beat the game and then I listened to the podcast, and it really changed my whole perspective on the game. And when I kind of stepped back a bit, my perspective of the game changed, and I've talked to a few people about this, and I won't go into detail because LeRon, you haven't played it, and I would not want to spoil anything.
We're talking about part 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to ruin anything for the experience, but yeah, it's just my advice for you, LeRon, is keep in mind the events of 1.
Yeah.
And ignore what people say, and go in with the events of 1 in your head, and then play 2. That's the only thing I'll say.
Yeah, the way I see it is part 2 will be different. It takes on a completely different theme. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, if people really want the same thing. I don't want the same thing. So that was a bit of a shock how much of a, like, they focused on different, well, I keep saying themes, but it was still done well.
Personally, the theme was my favorite part about the game.
Right. No, I loved it too. I'm just saying it's different. Like,
yeah, completely different. Completely, but it's what made the game so beautiful is the theme. And again, I won't say too much, but the theme of the game was what really encaptured my love for that one. So the first one was obviously the emotional connection between Joel and Ellie, and watching them kind of turn into a father-daughter thing. That was like the whole theme of the game. For part 2, it's completely like 540'd, and there's a different theme. And once you take a step back and understand that theme of the game, I personally fell in love with the game more when I was like, oh, okay, I get it. That's my take.
All right. Cool.
And once you get through playing it, I really want to talk to you about one of the most famous, like, not popular, I don't know, like one of the more well-known bosses of that game.
Okay. Yeah. Like, when you are done the game, let us know, and I'd love to like talk to you about it.
Sounds like a boss rush extra.
It does, but
have you played it, Corey?
No.
He's not. No.
I played about 2 hours of the first one. I stopped playing.
Oh,
I didn't like it.
Listen, you can exit the call anytime.
This is my call. You can exit.
Can I ask a question? Is it because of the opening?
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of it is 100% the opening.
Let me ask you a question, because I
played after the open. I played after the opening.
All right, so why are people so triggered about when children die in video games? Because children die in TV shows, movies, and in real life all the fucking time.
Game of Thrones. There are a ton of murdered babies.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay, well.
But I'm just saying, what is it so triggering about it? Because it's not even like what happened to Joel's daughter was horrific. Like it wasn't like she was gored by one of the freaking like cordyceps monsters. You know what I mean? Like shit went down and she got shot on accident, because it wasn't even like someone just tried to shoot them. She got shot on accident. So I'm just trying to figure out like what gets it so triggering sometimes, because like you're not the first one of my friends that said because of what happened because of what happened at the beginning of The Last of Us, I had to stop playing the game. Because I also had people that had the same reaction about like the opening of Heavy Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jason.
Sorry. So I mean, yeah. What is it like? I mean, because like I don't know. Maybe it's because I've never done this in any of my writing, and it's funny because like now the more and more we hear about it, I'm like, I may have to take that risk and do it. Like one time when I write a story, like a child might not live in one of my stories that I write in the future. I don't know.
I personally think it's just the fact that it may be and this is not towards you, Corey. Maybe like it's a touchy subject for some people, and to kind of back up what you're saying, LeRon, like it's not like it's not like we were invested with Sarah. It's just like we started the game, shit happened, and she died. And I'm not saying that what happened is it's not terrible. It's like I didn't even have kids, and I was like, holy shit, this is like brutal. But for some people to go that far and say they can't play it just because like a child died, like I get it, but in my opinion, it only adds on to the game and makes it so much more like you see Joel and you play Joel and he's broken and he's like, F everyone. Like, I don't even care. I don't
right.
want
And it makes his relationship with Ellie more meaningful.
Yeah,
and
that's why I was asking the question, because I was like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, because like honestly I don't even think for a moment that like we were even supposed to focus on his daughter that we only saw for like at worst 12 minutes of a game.
Yeah. No, I mean, I played like 2 or 3 hours of it. I mean, besides the opening, I don't think it plays very well. I don't like the shooting. I just don't think it plays very well. And I wasn't.
Would you get the remaster and try again?
I don't have a PlayStation, so no.
Oh, okay.
That's all good.
I'm trying to figure out, like, how is it different from Uncharted? Because it basically played like a Resident Evil version of Uncharted.
Uncharted doesn't play very well either. I just like the characters better.
But aren't you like big in Uncharted though?
No, I played them. Right. I like them. It's like if I was to rank PlayStation series, it would be pretty high. But like I'm not like Uncharted super fan.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's fair.
I think
I think I must. Oh no! Like I in my head somewhere, I thought you were like a big Uncharted fan.
I like the characters. I think the stories are fun. I'm not going to Uncharted for the gameplay, So I guess when you come from like playing great third person shooters like Gears or Vanquish or something like that, and then you go to play Uncharted.
Stop.
Feels like...
Gears and Vanquish are in a different league than Uncharted.
I know that, but I'm saying when you come from playing in a competitive Gears league for a while, and then you go to play something like Uncharted, it feels like crap. And I know they're different games. And like even Mass Effect to an extent, right? I'm not going to Mass Effect for the gameplay. I'm going for the cool story and the characters and the, whatever else happens.
Can we just back up a second?
What?
You played in a competitive Gears?
I played in competitive Gears. Yeah, I played Gears 1 and 2 competitively for a while.
How was that?
It was really hard and exhausting. And
I was going to say, that just sounds like it was stressful.
It really kind of actually like ruined Gears for me, even though I still love that series so much. Mm-hmm. And like, I've played duos with a friend for a long time.
Okay.
To be fair, when I say competitive, I wasn't like super competitive. Like, I mean, I wasn't like winning like ninja money or anything, but like we would enter tournaments and like get pretty far,
Really? That's still cool.
It was cool, but also like, yeah, I don't know. I don't ever really want to. It's why like I don't play any games competitively anymore. It's just so exhausting, and I went through that phase, and it was sweaty and tiresome, and
that's fair. Yeah. Do you have a favorite of the Gears game?
I mean, I really like 2. I think 5 is probably the best playing one. I don't know, probably 2. 3 was a little. The characters moved faster in 3, and it felt a little bit less tanky. But
I feel that.
I don't know. Most of my time was spent in 2, though. So, yeah.
Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. I just didn't know that you were like in a competitive Gears league. I was like, hold on, what did he just say?
I didn't know that either.
I mean, it just never came up, I guess.
Corey just has such a incredibly diverse personal life that we don't know about.
I know.
To be fair, I was like just 20.
Well, you had a prolific 20s decade.
I did.
For many reasons.
I know. Oh God. Don't remind. It's so funny. So this is the subject matter is sad, but the question is funny. So my cousin was in the hospital the other day. She has cancer and she had to go to the hospital the other day. But I asked her if she needed anything. She's like, no, but I have a question. I'm like, okay, what? She's like, remember that girl you dated in college? I said, which one? She said, that girl, the main one. I said, oh yeah, she's, whatever. I'm not going to say her name on the podcast, but she's like, what was her last name? I'm like, I tell her last name. I'm like, well, this is her last name now because she got married, but here's, her name when I dated her or whatever. She's like, I was like, why? She's like, oh, well, I think she liked my post on Facebook and it made me think of you guys. I'm like, that's okay. Thanks. I guess that's.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, we girls are weird like that sometimes.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway.
I played some video games.
You did? What did you play?
I did. I played a Memoir Blue, and it was a game on Game Pass, so I finally put Game Pass to use. It was only an hour long. It's a very short game, but I loved it.
Yeah, this game came out originally on the PS Vita.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's really not even that new, but it's good. It's an
New to you.
New to me. It's an Annapurna published game. It's basically you play as this young woman who's a very accomplished athlete, who has I'm not sure if it's more of a depression or just like a situational relationship issue with her mother, and you basically delve into her memories of being raised by her mom and having these ups and downs, and there's no dialogue. It's all through visuals and music, and at the end I did cry. I can't tell, and maybe I was projecting, but it almost seemed like the character had like a little bit of an Asian background. Again, I could be projecting because I'm part Asian, and there's a lot of like overachieving parent-child type of relationship that maybe also hit me, and I felt some sort of way. So I just really, I don't know, it really hit me. And but yeah, I like short, quick games like that. I feel accomplished when I can beat a game in one sitting.
I
for
feel
Switch,
if I can beat a game at all. So good job. Proud of you.
I'm playing a couple levels of Kirby: The Forgotten Land just because, I got it on day one and I just kind of forgot about it when I wrote my novel. So I'm like, I'm going to, eventually, bang my way through that game because even though Kirby's not my favorite franchise, it is a good game. And it's very visually stunning on the OLED, and it's a good one where you can hop in and out. You play a level, you shut the Switch off. You go back and play a level, whatever. And then last but not least, Ghost of Tsushima. I finally picked it back up. It is very hard to start where you left off when you haven't played it in a couple months. It was very hard. I don't recommend doing that.
That game was so good, though.
Well, it is, and that's why I'm mad at myself that I let so many months go since the last time I played it. And I actually had to hook it up to my work laptop monitor because I'm so sick and tired of playing like this. Like, I can't look up at a screen. Many people do. I have a TV mounted up here. It's a nice, brand new TV, but I can't. It hurts my neck. So I plugged it in. I played it on my PC monitor, and I'm loving every second of it. I will admit this time around, I'm now kind of trying to go from, like, major directives, major storylines, whereas the last time I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, I've been hitting up like every single question mark, every single side mission, finding all the hot springs, all the fox dens. But now maybe it's because I lost a lot of time and I feel this pressure on myself to catch up for lost time. I'm hitting up all the main quests right now. I'm in probably like in the middle of Act 2. So
hold on a minute. What week is this? Did I miss something? How come none of you nerds talked about Ninja Turtles? None of y'all played the game?
I did.
I didn't.
I only played for like 20 minutes, and I played by myself, and there's not much to say when you play that game by yourself, because it's...
Yeah. And I only have it on Game Pass, and everyone else has it on the Switch, so I You know.
Well, that's the funny thing. I actually played it on through Game Pass, even though I did buy it on Switch.
I asked you guys if you had it because I was gonna buy it on the Switch because I was
Yeah.
like, it's something new. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
I have the Game Pass version.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish we could have got together, and that's probably partially on me to like say, hey guys, we should play, and then I kind of forgot because I was working on other stuff, and then Lasby tried to put something together in Discord, and like they kind of had a full crew, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna get in on this, Riders Turtles block, even, you know what I mean? So I just kind of played it by myself for a little bit, and it's fun. Like it's one of those games, but it's also one of those games that isn't that fun to play by yourself. So still fun. I still bought the physical and the digital twice.
If you guys want to shell out, let me know. I will buy it. I am in the point where I'm like, if a new game is interesting, I'll buy it, and then if I return it, then I return it. So.
Well, I'm not getting the Switch version anytime soon.
Yeah.
Why not, LeRon?
Because no, honestly, like I'm realizing that my time with the Switch is waning. Like there are games on there. Like I mean, in all seriousness,
Did you just say your time with the Switch is waning?
Yeah. I mean,
or playtime. I thought you meant like you're gonna sell it or something. I'm like,
no. I'm not getting rid of it. No, as a matter of fact, I'm at a point in my life now where I'm not getting rid of video game systems anymore.
Yep.
Like I still have every PlayStation I owned, but yeah, like I don't like the most current Nintendo system I have is the Switch. Well, I still have my 3DS, but does that really count?
I still have my PS Vita. Yeah.
Yeah, I have all the PlayStation systems, even but I just feel like honestly, like with like the games like Monster Hunter Rise, Monster Hunter Stories 2 and all that stuff and things like that, like I feel like I will play them when they're current and stuff like that, but they're about the only things I play, like I've started to realize I don't play much else, on,
but you
system.
also play a lot of those games on PC when they come there anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't have Monster Hunter Stories launched on PC the same time it launched on Switch, and I got the only reason why I got the Switch version is because the Switch had a demo that carried over your progress. That's the only reason. Yeah, like if they had done a PC demo where it carried over, I probably would have just got it on the PC. But like I'm starting to realize that it's just the Switch is like an exclusives machine for me. So like Metroid Dread, yeah, let's do it. Advance Wars 1 and 2 when it comes out, yeah, let's do it.
And it will come out, right, LeRon?
It better come out at this point. At this point, I'm glad I didn't put $60 down to pre-order it. Because I'd be really mad right now. But it's just a thing. Like I don't see myself in a hurry to get Ninja Turtles on the because like number one, I also realized I don't play the games portable anymore. Like that used to be a big draw for me. With a Switch, I could take it out the house. Like I said, like I house sat for 2 days, brought the Switch with me, never even hooked it up, never even pulled out the satchel to play it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean I hear you, LeRon. I like for me, like I with the Switch, like as much as I'm a Nintendo fan, so I'm gonna buy every piece of hardware that comes out, right? But like the OLED was like a worthless purchase for me. Like I hardly ever play it in handheld mode. I always play it on the TV. It's like,
that was a worthless purchase because it didn't do anything.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's to the point where like I have my launch Switch in the dock to play on the TV, and now my OLED is just sitting here. Well, it's not sitting there, but like it just sits in there until I want to play it, and like sometimes I play it before I go to bed, but like most of the time I'm still playing it on the TV.
Guess it depends, right? Like I love my OLED. Like I still have my regular Switch, and I shudder when I have to go back to it. Like I give that to my son so he can watch Pokemon on it. Like I will play my OLED.
Yeah.
I still have my original Switch, and I have the limited edition Zelda
Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons, yeah. And I mean, like, I find myself, see, I think I'm the opposite of you guys. Like, my computer, like, I built my computer from the ground up, and I love this thing, but I just feel like I'm spending too much time here with games, and I feel like that's why I'm getting burnt out. Because I'm just like, I'm constantly on this thing for like photo editing, videos,
yes.
and like YouTube, and I'm constantly in this space. I feel like I need to find something on the Switch so I can literally go sit in my backyard and just game and just kind of be outside. And I feel like that's why I'm burnt out, because I'm constantly like, I wouldn't care if I had to come up here, photo edit something, video, YouTube, but whatever. But for games, I'm like, I'd rather be downstairs on like the couch and I could just kick my feet up instead of sitting in the chair for like an hour and a half. I think that's the main reason why I'm like burnt out.
Yeah, I mean.
So Corey, listen, if you want to sell me your OLED, talk.
Oh, nope. The only console of Nintendo that I don't own my original version of is the Wii, and that's because my apartment burned down when I had it, and my Wii melted to the floor. So,
oh my gosh!
So I had to get a different one. And by the way,
terrible.
I bought one that wasn't backwards compatible with GameCube because at the time I didn't know they made those types of Wiis. And then I bought the Mario one because it was backwards compatible. And A, I hate red, and B, the flap is missing that covers it, and it bothers me so much. So like, I'm just like, my Wii U is my Wii now. So, although I did see the white ones were like $100 on Amazon, and I strongly considered it. So, because I'm a terrible human. And I spend money on things I don't need all the time.
Same. Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Amazon Prime, so nice. I just got the notification saying that I would get Fire Emblem on launch day. And I will be home to get it and complain that it's a Warriors game.
But you'll have it.
I will. You are correct.
But yeah, it's what I've been playing. LeRon, did we catch you yet? Or
Nope, I haven't gone yet.
Go ahead.
Well, go, because we have questions, LeRon.
Okay. Well, I'll make this really short and sweet then. I'm continuing Mass Effect, and I'm playing Monster Hunter. We have 8 days left until Sunbreak comes out, and I'm trying my best to get that to HR 300.
Now, you told me to wait until Sunbreak comes out. So
yes, I did.
I'm following your orders.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did say wait till Sunbreak comes out. Like, you can try and play the demo right now, but I just feel like unless you're just trying to get yourself familiarized with like just the battles in general, just wait till Sunbreak comes out.
Then I will wait till Sunbreak comes out because I'm going to be disappointed with Fire Emblem. I'm going to need something to cry on. So that'll be it.
Yeah. Well,
I love that you preemptively know that you're just going to be...
Oh, wait, you already have Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter Rise, because I was about to say, go ahead and get that $30 edition right now.
I bought it when it was like $40 at one point, and I got it then. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically been me. Like I recorded the Pride panel I actually recorded the Pride panel on Saturday and stuff like that. So like I'm like Andre, like I'm stuck on this computer, and it's even worse because my personal computer is also my work computer, and so it's one of those things where like
that sucks.
Like here's a really bad analogy. I feel like I'm a gynecologist. Like, I'm doing this all day, and then I go home to my wife, and I'm like, oh, really? Like we're doing this?
That's how I felt with podcasts recently. Is like, so that's like my day job now is to produce podcasts and like live streams and stuff. And then when I come home, I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's like you look at it all day and now it's staring you in the face in your off time. It's like this is not what I.
It'd be like working at Subway, going home, and then wanting a sandwich, and
then
making
I
don't want to make the sandwich. I don't want to do it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot more an easier analogy for me to handle than the gynecology one, but I understand.
It was nothing like tawdry or nothing like that. It was just.
I know. I make that.
Yeah. I mean, like it's funny, like the way our lives are, like like
Mhm.
we're all into this cool shit, and then the cool shit that we do, like that
Just
makes us
becomes
excited.
less and less cool.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because like because like there's so many games in my Steam library that I get because like, oh, this looks good and all this stuff is, and then like by the time I turn it on and get through all the intro scenes just to start the game, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm the same. Like I'd rather take my camera out and go like walk around for like an hour than play like games because I'm like I don't want to play anything. I don't want to watch anything. I'm like I don't know what to do with my life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do that a lot too.
Like I have had daydreams where I'm like I just want to hop on a fucking ferry and go to like Victoria or some shit or like something.
Yes, these Canadian places you speak of, we know.
Yeah, that's right. Take a ferry and go across the water. It'd be like for you guys taking a ferry from New York to the island across the way. I don't know. I don't know where that is, but
It's somewhere. It's fine. You got there. You got there.
okay. As long as I hit home for you guys, we're good. We're good.
I mean, New York is 8 hours.
Someone
away
out
from
there
me.
will get the reference and they'll let me know.
I mean, it sounds like where I live, Cleveland. It's like taking a ferry from Cleveland to Kelly's Island, which is
There you go.
there.
There you go. But just not planning it, just like waking up and being like, you know what? I'll be right back. And just packing some shit, hopping on the ferry, and not even thinking about it.
Yeah, sounds right.
Mm.
Good job, everybody.
But then we get there,
there.
and then we're like, we want to play games. And we come home, and we're like, we don't want to play games. And it's an ever-ending loop of dumbness, because it's like, ugh.
We don't want to play games. Ugh. Anyways, well, guys, we have a bunch of questions to get through. This was definitely not the day to have technical difficulties, if we're talking about questions here.
That's all right. Those questions will be our other topics, so it's all good.
So our first question comes from Shane Kelly. He was on Pow Block this past week, so shout out to Shane. What a joyful person.
He is. He's so positive. I love it.
I know.
Mm.
I wish I had like 1/10 of his positivity, and I would be a much better human being. What would a current company have to do in order for you to buy its console, considering you do not own one of them currently? If you own them all, what about a past console?
Ooh.
Honestly, okay, I thought about all the questions. A console I want to come back. I don't know why it died out, but I want to come back is the PS Vita. I still have my blue one. It's in my little drawer under my computer desk, and it still works. I can just plug it in and charge it. I don't know why those died out, but I want them back, like badly, because I enjoyed them, and I have one of my favorite games on it, that's another question, and I'll wait to answer that one. But my answer is PS Vita. Sony, if you ever get this, bring it back, please.
So I now currently own all three major systems, but that's the first time in my life. And the last one that completed it was the Microsoft line of consoles, so the Series X. What gets me to buy a console, which would be why I always own Nintendo and then PlayStation, are actually the games. For me, it's the games that I buy the consoles for. I don't need things to run at whatever those geeky techie stuff people talk about. As long
Frame for a second.
Yeah, like as long as it works and doesn't crash.
See, Stephanie's talking about that right now. The moment a game grinds to a halt because there's so much stuff on the screen, then she's like, "What the hell is going on?"
Well, hey, it still has to function, okay?
Where do my frames go?
Yeah.
But, like,
why am I getting 30 frames?
Yeah. So, but what Microsoft, I guess, did to get me to purchase Xbox was probably just kind of this slow burn of me getting curious about Game Pass. So that was like the first thing, Game Pass. I think that's a great deal, and it's the
Game
game.
Pass is a big draw.
A big draw. And second is, well, kind of, that's why it's secondary, I want to try what running on a superior hardware is like. But then I got to play PS5 too, so I guess that part's like, the same. So, but it's still the games.
Game Pass is like crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Game Pass alone is like one of the biggest W's ever.
Yeah, so that's what we need to finally win their business at least once. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm also like you, Stephanie. It's all in the power of like whatever titles are coming to the system and things like that for me. Because in all seriousness, like I'm gamer enough, like, you know, like if I'm looking at you like as a PC gamer, if I'm looking at you like desirable enough to have your console, then I'm just gonna get it, you know. But it all boils down to where can I get the experience at? For example, you know, like as long as Metroid's staying on Nintendo, like I'm always gonna have a Nintendo system, you know, and that is the reason why Nintendo. I never got a Nintendo 64. No Metroid game. No Metroid game.
Oh, if
a Metroid game, yeah, everyone tells me that, but I don't think I missed out.
Actually, you know what? I stand corrected, because nowadays you can just play any N64 game on a Switch or on a computer. So you didn't really miss out.
Or on my modded PS Vita.
Yeah. So you didn't really miss out, but I think you just missed out on the nostalgia of it.
You know what, Andre, that's totally it, because you know what, and this is speaking from my N64 next to my Game Boy being my first console, one of my favorites. It's purely a nostalgia, because if I go back and actually play an N64 game, those are like the worst aged games ever. It is so hard to look at.
Like, LeRon, you missed out on the constant like.
No, I didn't, because I owned an NES and Super NES and an original Game Boy. No, I didn't. No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, that was like
it's
that
just
was
ugly.
one of the best parts about it.
Ugly looking games.
It's honestly also something that I've explained before a few times. I've been on some of the other Boss Rush shows. Like I outgrew like what Nintendo was doing at that time. You know, because like I was becoming a more mature gamer, and like the games that I want to play were no longer on a Nintendo system. Yeah, so that's my adventure. That's my adventure about why I never owned a 64, because like the next system that Nintendo came out, the GameCube. Oh yeah, I owned the fuck out of that. Yeah, I had a GameCube until it was like not cool to have a GameCube. If that's a thing. Yeah. But yeah, like there's not that many tricks, you know, like if it's because like even like as a PC gamer and stuff like that, yeah, like I know about hardware and tech that goes behind all this stuff, and so like even if I have like the Nintendo Switch, which right now is like the most inferior of all the systems and stuff like that, and, you know, I still get my enjoyment and stuff out of that. Like it's not even a matter of like, is it hardware? Is it performance? Stuff like that? No, it's the games. It's the games that I like to play and stuff like that. So that's ultimately where I feel on that. So no one has to like try and sell me on their system. Like the only thing you have to do is sell me your games.
I think also too, players gravitate towards characters. Like for example, Nintendo, Donkey Kong, Star Fox, Link, Mario. Sony has like freaking Uncharted, The Last of Us, they have God of War, and then Xbox has like Master Chief, Gears, and Forza. And it's just like those three groups, it's like which one do you gravitate towards more? And sometimes you hit all three, and sometimes you like swear by one group. And I think gamers, as you said, LeRon, as we get older, we like mature more as gamers and figure out which group we vibe with more.
But yeah, definitely. That doesn't mean, you know, because I've gotten mature, it doesn't mean I've technically outgrown Super Mario, because
hell no.
I've outgrown certain facets of Super Mario, but you know, like yeah, like there's honestly like, unless you just get up one day and say, I'm done playing video games, you don't really outgrow video games. You outgrow certain trends or fashions of video games, but not so much video games themselves.
Yeah, like there could be kids that are like, oh yeah, like new day Pokemon is way better, and I'm like, homie, you have no idea what Pokemon is. Like there was nothing cooler than waking up on a Saturday, ripping on the TV, and having the Pokemon theme song blast the speakers. There was nothing cooler. Now we got like 700 or 900 of them, and they're like, yeah, these are so cool. It's like, you don't even know.
I know. It's like, your new generation has a stupid Pokemon that looks like a freaking vanilla ice cream cone.
Yeah, you don't even understand what it was like when you caught, like, Pikachu, and you were like, yeah! Corey?
Yeah, what say you?
I mean, honestly, for me, it's always just like, well, do I have enough money to justify buying another console at this point? In terms of past consoles, I don't know. I feel like I've owned everything I've ever kind of wanted at one point or another. What?
I was just something that you said sparked a thought I had. Also, another reason why I feel like as I get older, I pick and choose which games to play. Games these days are getting very expensive, and so are consoles.
Yes.
So that is another major factor on which I go with and what games I play. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Corey, but when you said consoles you buy, I was like, oh shit, that's a thought I had. So yeah, games are like, I sort of got like in Canada, they're like $89.99 now. I'm damn near paying like $100 for the base game. There's like collectors and all these other ones. Base game's almost like $100, and I'm like, listen, like I love this game, but I'm sorry, I cannot justify dropping a bill on one game. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'll go home and play freaking the games I have already, and maybe if it goes on sale for like $60, we'll talk. But I can't.
That's why
day one.
That's why I don't own a PlayStation right now. Is because there's just not enough games to justify me buying one. You know, like, okay, yeah, Horizon is the first one. Is one of my favorite games of all time, but I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation 5
system
for one
just for that
game.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
yeah,
God of War looks cool, but it's not out yet.
Yeah, don't be like me. Don't buy a Nintendo Wii just to play Monster Hunter.
I mean,
don't be like me.
To be 100% honest, I bought a Series X to play Destiny at 60 frames a second. So I mean, that's why I bought the Series X. And then they ended up not putting it out at launch, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasted this money. And then I didn't. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's like the biggest draw is like, do I have enough money to justify buying this console, and is there enough on it for me to warrant making room in my entertainment center for it? You know, especially like the PlayStation 5 is a beefy boy, right? That thing is.
Yep.
That thing is a
Chunky.
large. Yeah,
Chunky system for sure.
I've actually come to the what do you call it? Where you just kind
Conclusion?
of yes, thank you. The conclusion that I'm just gonna get a PlayStation 5 Slim or Tiny or whatever they decide to call it when it comes
Listen,
out.
Corey, I'm totally on board with that. I wasn't thinking with my brain. I was thinking with my heart or emotions when I wanted a PS5. Because when I opened the damn box, I'm like, because I had a PS4 Pro, so it was even slimmer. And just comparing the two sizes, I'm like,
You know,
Also,
that is my one turnoff about the PS5 right now and its iteration. Like I'm very used to like getting like I'm one of those people that I would have the base system for however long it was out, and then I would wind up getting like the refresh or whatnot. And I'm not like that anymore. I'm like, if there's nothing wrong with my system that I have right now, there's no reason for me to get the refresh. You know, and it's even worse now because I have a very hooked up gaming PC and stuff like that. So do I really need to spend money on this just because, like, oh, you finally managed to break the 4K threshold? No, not really.
I have a hot take.
What's up?
People might scream at me for this, but I had a PS5 and I sold it.
That's not bad.
That's got what you got to do.
Okay, yeah. Well, I know that like you guys might not say something, but like if someone watches it and they're like, "What do you mean you sold it?" So when I was building my PC, I had a PS4 and then my Switch. My PS4 was just basically I had like 2 feet out the door. It was like I turned it on and it was like until I turned it off, and I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't turn it on before it explodes. So I ended up buying a PS5, and I was very happy, and I was like, this thing's really cool. 2 months down the road, I managed to build my gaming PC, and I was like, okay, now I have both. Cool. And I just found myself playing this more, and I was like, well, shit, now...
That's how it happens.
Now I don't know what to do. Luckily, I had a friend who was looking for one, so I sold him my PS5. So it's, quote, still in the family, so I can still go play it at his house. But I had one, and to back up what you said, Corey, there wasn't much on it. Honest to God, like I think I downloaded Days Gone from the Sony store for free, and I played that.
PlayStation Plus collection.
Yeah, thank you. I played that because I was like, there's nothing else. Oh, sorry, I did play Ratchet and Clank. I loved. Other than that, there was nothing, and I'm like, what do I do now? I have one of the hottest systems on the market, and I don't want it, so I sold it to him. And now I have my gaming PC, which I wouldn't trade for the world, but I would love to upgrade it. Anyway, my point is, Corey, I do agree with you that for the hype of the PS5, there's not much out besides like Horizon, and that's it.
Yeah. And like another reason like why, I mean, yeah, I say that I upgraded to play Destiny at 60 frames a second, but like the Xbox was just much more appealing in terms of like backwards compatibility, smart delivery, all these things that like, well, I already own a ton of games on Xbox and I don't have to worry about like rebuying them or upgrading them.
You were already in the ecosystem.
Or
this is just like
one,
Apple people versus Android people. You're already in the ecosystem.
One of the biggest flaws about the PS5 is no backwards that was the biggest thing I had.
But you know what? In all seriousness, PlayStation gamers had come to expect it by now.
True.
Honestly.
Yeah, but they're all mad about it still, though, is the problem.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
I'm a PlayStation gamer. I have every fucking PlayStation system right now. I have the PS1, the PS2, the PS2 Slim. I have a PSP. I have two models of the PSP. I have two models of the PS3. I have one PS Vita. I have the base version of the PS4, and I have the PS5. I'm not that mad about it because guess what? I kept the long haul of damn near all my fucking games because like the writing was on the wall once Sony realized the PS3 was too damn expensive for them to cut it any way they had it, and stuff like that. So I was one of those people. I guess you can call me an early adopter. I was like, well, shit. Like I'm glad I still have my old systems. Guess what? If I really need to play Dance Revolution like 6 mix, I will keep my damn PS2.
That's
why. Sorry. Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's not just like the backwards compatibility thing. It's the upgrade, like the upgrade pass. And I realize in like a year it's not gonna matter. Pass? PlayStation, you had to pay like $10 to upgrade like all the games, unless a company.
That's a new thing.
That's not a new thing. That was totally something that people were arguing over at launch.
It wasn't a thing at launch. It wasn't a thing. It was. Corey, they weren't charging you that $10 upcharge until the second year of the PS5's life cycle.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the free upgrades that for certain games that you turn around and have to buy them on PlayStation.
This is why. Yeah, you weren't on 40 episodes of Crossroads. This is where we explained all this stuff. Like it wasn't.
I ran an Xbox podcast. We literally ran through all of this, like the problems. With how PlayStation was upgrading versus how Xbox was upgrading,
I love the idea of smart delivery. I do, I honestly appreciate it, but at the same time, it's one of those things, Sony don't have Microsoft money.
They don't enough money to buy Bungie for $4 billion.
But Sony didn't have enough money to buy like everything at Activision Blizzard and everything at ZeniMax Bethesda.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
I wouldn't have spent $68 million on Activision either.
I'm not sitting in all these boardrooms to figure out how things are going and whatnot. I have no idea how Sony approached all this stuff. And also, I feel like even though Sony categorically won the console war, in the PS4 versus Xbox One era and stuff like that, it's still a new frontier for them because they had to rebuild from the bullshit that was going on in PS3. PS3 became a wholly unpopular system, and then you lump on that the PS Vita, they had to figure some things out, I'm not now. I guess I. Oh, Oh, hold on. We're not on Twitch tonight, so I can say this. I'm not really simping for Sony at this point, But what I will say is that I don't always understand like the choices that these people make in their boardrooms and stuff like that. And who knows? Like, there's probably big pieces of the puzzle that we're not seeing. There's something Microsoft is doing that they can guarantee smart delivery for games that aren't even theirs, and stuff like that.
Well, they're probably I mean, to be fair, they're probably spending the money, or the companies are just saying it's going to make us look bad since they offer this service and we don't.
Yeah, because that's the other thing too. Not every first-party game on Sony is also making you pay an extra $10. Not every first-party. It's third-party is doing it too.
Well, it's because they said they weren't going to charge, and then they started charging an extra $10. And people got mad because they came out and said they weren't going to charge and turned around and charged. And that was the whole Horizon debacle, right? Is like,
oh yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that was one they definitely they kind of shot themselves in the foot with that one. But I have a funny feeling like ultimately what hurt Sony's plan for having what's it called? Entitled it was something entitlements.
Yeah.
Dual entitlements. I think what honestly hurt them was their overall plan for the PS5 and the PS4. The PS4 was already supposed to be phased out by now.
I mean, I know that.
Yeah, and I believe that's what hurt the whole thing over, scalping and all that stuff. I think that's honestly what hurt their plans for it, because in the beginning, I'm not saying that Sony was had their fingers crossed behind their backs, because they're telling us, yeah, every game will have a free upgrade. I'm not that naive to think that, but at the same time, if you look at the way things went with this economy and stuff like that, oh God, who did that?
What just happened?
Does it work for everyone? I'm so sorry. I just saw it. Clicked it.
What just happened? Oh no!
Who did that?
Now we have a bunch of Skype screens.
Me. I saw it. I was like, I don't know what this does. That's my guy.
Together mode has been enabled for this call. How?
There we go.
Just click it. Just click it back to grid view.
I did. It's fine. I fixed it.
I don't see it changing. Maybe I'll.
I think you have to change it on yours individually.
Okay.
Crap. Where was I lost my train of thought. Ultimately, I feel like the economy, COVID, and the scalping bullshit, and Sony's plan, because Sony wanted to have the PS4 phased out in 18 months from the time PS5 launched, because they went on record and saying, we don't want the PS4 to have as long as a lifespan into the next consoles era as PS3 did. PS3 just got phased out 3 years ago. And yeah, I think PlayStation 4 was going strong, at that point for 4 years. So yeah, that's really all I'm saying. If and like I always do on every podcast, if you feel like you have something to say to me, like, you can hit me on my social media and we'll talk about it.
I'm gonna hit you in your face. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
But no, I get it. Like, that stuff does rub people the wrong way. Like me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just realistic, Like video, I already have to spend money to play video games. So what's an extra charge here or there? Shit. Like I'm about to spend a whole $60 to play an expansion to a game that came out and wholly disappointed me on its first run on the Switch.
Yeah.
So I'm used to spending money for video games. I'm not saying I'm Daddy Warbucks over here, but what I am saying is...
Sounds like LeRon's buying us all expensive gifts for Christmas.
No, what I'm saying is, I know how to pick my battles, I don't need to buy every fucking game under the sun. I don't need to... Just because I want it doesn't mean I need to buy it at the premium price. I can wait for it to go on sale. Shit, everything's on sale at certain points. Sony just wrapped up another, flash sale on the PlayStation Store and stuff like that. Where some of the hottest titles were under $40 and stuff like that. So it's not. Here I go. My bad. What's our next question?
All right. Yeah. Let's. Do we want to answer the rest of them, or do we just want to answer one more and then kind of save the rest for next week? Because we kind of been.
Let's bank them. We've been going strong for a little while.
All right. We'll answer one more question from our favorite human on the planet, Celeste Roberts. She writes in and says, which game would you like to see made into a novel?
clearly mine's a cop-out answer, but I genuinely mean it. I want Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time to be a novel.
I actually talked a lot about Zelda last night on our expansion pass recording because we were talking about movies and TV shows, and I actually said that like Zelda political intrigue show would be interesting, like a PG-13 Game of Thrones almost.
Yeah, I think that would be.
And it
great.
doesn't involve Link at all until like the last episode or last season or whatever.
Where he wakes up or something.
Yeah.
Or is called to his
Yeah.
So that's my immediate reaction.
I mean, that's a good answer. I mean, it's not like a. I think that'd be cool. LeRon's like Monster Hunter. I just want
not really.
I want a monster encyclopedia.
It would seem like to a guy like me that would be the thing, but honestly, like I feel like I wouldn't want to read about Monster Hunter. I'd have to see it like intangible action. I wouldn't want to read about Monster Hunter, and I'm trying to think because like I feel like all the games and stuff that I love and stuff like wouldn't translate as the best book. For example, I do like. You remember there was an era where our a lot of video games were getting novelizations, stuff like that. Like I remember reading like 5 different Resident Evil books that are based across like the games that are based off of the games and stuff. I remember reading shit like back in the day. There was 2 Metal Gear books. I read both of those. They were actually
count.
Yes.
Yes, audiobooks can count. Yeah.
Okay. Because I primarily do audiobooks. Like I don't read books, but I listen to books like on the way home from work or at work. So like audiobooks are like my go-to thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I honestly can't think of any because I also feel like with how artistic story will be mad if he hears that how artistic video games are in this day and age, like and cinematic they are, like like you get like your fulfillment and stuff just by experiencing shit. Like I can't say I play every freaking video game, but sometimes I like to sit down and just watch somebody else play a game.
I feel that.
Yeah, like for example, like my roommate was playing. Even though I have the Quarry, and I've been playing it, my roommate was playing it. And I would just sit down watching him play it because I was like, I watched until he got to the point where I was at, and I was like, okay, I'm done because I didn't want to get anything spoiled. But at the same time, it was like some games are better for me watching them. And I know this is going completely off subject because we're talking about what games like to see turn books, but in all seriousness, I can't think of any games I played that I want to have as a book. So. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I would like to see, and from what we hear, we will probably be getting some, but again, cop-out answer, but Destiny, like...
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
well, I just think...
I knew you were going to say.
But, I mean, like, the story they're telling with Zavala and his nightmares this season is super interesting, or, like...
Yeah, I do agree with you and Josh, because you guys have touched a bit on this. I would love a book, too. Mm-hmm. I love some, like, lore books about it.
Yeah. Well, there are
That's not my answer.
There are lore books. There's 4 of them. I own them all. They're grimoires.
Wow.
You should just buy them. They're like $25 a piece. And they're sitting right next to my $70 a piece statues, which I still own all 4 of. So.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Man, that Savathun one though is too big and too expensive. So
it's like 3 feet. Jesus.
I know. It's $210.
Worth it.
I mean, you might be right, but my wife would also end my life. So,
life orb statue.
Bury me in it.
Just holding the statue.
What about you, Andre?
I'm kind of in the boat with LeRon here. Like, I don't know, like, what game I'd love to see. But if gun to my head, I have to pick one, it would probably have to be a game called Legend of Dragoon.
Good one.
Yeah, that game.
Since you're going way back, I do have one. But go ahead and finish what you're saying.
That game has a special spot in my heart. I damn near played it. That's a game that I played, got to the end, and restarted it because I just love the game so much. And then, like, got to the end again and restarted it again because I'm like, I've never beaten the game because I don't want it to end. So I've restarted it numerous times, doing different things, trying different ways of approaching a situation. And that's there was a question, if I pull up the questions here. What's your favorite entry in your favorite game franchise and why? That's mine. And I will save that whole rant for a different time, but that is my favorite game. Actually, last night I was playing Destiny and I had the Legend of Dragoon theme on repeat on YouTube for like an hour, and I was just like listening to that while I had Destiny going. It's a game I could play for hours, but I digress. That is the game that if I could listen to as an audiobook, I would. So.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. We're gonna put a nice.
Hold on.
Oh no,
Stephanie didn't answer.
She did. She said
I did.
She did.
Did you?
I like immediately.
She gave her.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ignore me. I'm just here. Ignore me, please.
The game that I was thinking that after you went back all the way back to Legends Dragoon, like the game I would love to read in the book form would be Final Fantasy Tactics: War of the Lions.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about your political intrigue, like your dire storylines and all that stuff, and I just want to see how they explain the whole situation where Cloud and Aerith show up in the game.
It's fair.
You're like, this situation, explain to me. Why? How? How? Please, I'd love to know.
Oh boy, that or Xenogears.
Oh boy.
I feel like at least with a novelization of a Xenogears, like you'd actually get the because remember how the game goes into hurry up mode on the second disc. If anyone played it, I'm not sure if anyone played it. Yeah, there's what was the game? Corey? What was the game that you said storyboarded the end? Its ending.
Oh,
was that
it was KOTOR 2? Yeah.
Speaking of KOTOR 2, you heard about that game breaking bug that's going on right now, right?
Yeah, it was a bug
where
that
people
was
literally
also
can't.
in the
Where
original.
people literally can't finish the game.
Yeah, you have to warp out of there and redo the mission.
What?
Yeah.
In KOTOR 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think after all these years they get that right?
If you play it a specific way, they have a patch coming supposedly. So.
Yeah.
So awkward. I mean, KOTOR 1 is one of the games that will go down in history as my favorite game, being Star Wars and me being a Star Wars guy. KOTOR 1 was it for me.
Yeah, so. KOTOR 1 is one of the best stories of all
Easily one of the best games.
Yeah. One of the best of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So, easily. But anyways, we're gonna wrap it there. I want to thank everybody for listening and or watching this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Andre, thank you for joining us tonight.
It was a pleasure. You guys are awesome, and anytime you need a fourth horseman, there you go. Let me know.
Sorry for the technical issues for the first 45 minutes, but you got through it. It's fine. I cussed myself out. It's fine.
Persevered.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ANNDRE_WILSON, and on YouTube, Andre Wilson. I'm just doing shorts at the moment. I'm waiting for my new camera to come in, and then I'm gonna try vlogging. So wait for that. Instagram is pictures and reels of my photography, and then Twitter is where I piss people off with my opinions, because that's what
Twitter's for. It's fine.
Yeah.
Twitter's for. Not actually. I mean, I just make opinions and I just piss someone off. So I just say something and someone's like offended, and I'm like, okay, fine, sorry. Sorry.
Simply existing.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I say hi and I'm like, wow, dude, that's rude, and I'm like, okay, sorry.
Sorry for existing.
Yeah, sorry for having an opinion. But yeah, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Stephanie?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Klimov, KLIMOV_author. My articles on bossrush.net and appearances on Boss Rush After Dark and Standard Definition with Disney stuffs.
LeRon.
All right. As always, you can find me on social media at Exodus803. So that social media, that's Twitch, YouTube, what else? PlayStation Network ID, that's all of it. Exodus803, EXODUS803. You guys know the rest.
I'm surprised that you found that all worked for everything.
Oh, it was a fight. It was a fight.
Okay, okay.
The YouTube one specifically was a fight.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's true. You can find me at IamCorianHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Nintendo Pow Block and Standard Def and After Dark and Expansion Pass and Crossroads sometimes and Tower Casuals all the time and everything else that we do.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Always.
We gotta fix that.
We don't want you to burn out.
Stephanie, it's too late for that. You can follow the Boss Rush Podcast, by the way, on Twitter now at Boss Rush Podcast. We encourage you to go there to submit questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, ideas, all that good stuff. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Love you.
Take care.
Take care.